You ask the questions and I answer them. Welcome to the Q&A video of this channel. Keep asking your questions, guys, because I'm here for you. Hello everyone and welcome to the ultimate channel for students. My name is Francesca and my aim is to help you have the best fresh start at university. So today I'm going to go through the comments once again of this channel. I'm going to put all the timings of the questions in the description down below so you can skip at ease and watch whatever questions you're interested in, and we are going to dive right into it. So the first question I'm going to answer is by Doris. Hi, really thanks for this video. I'm an exchange student from China who will come to Exeter in September. I'm a little bit worried after seeing this video because I really do not know much about the English jokes or the proverbs or commonly used expressions, just like it's like get out. I don't know what does this mean. Guys, by the way, this was on the video of Nicole when she was talking about racism in Exeter University. So if you haven't seen that video, watch it. I don't know what this means, but I can guess it's something bad. Could you please recommend some ways to learn those unique things that can hardly be seen from books? I was the same. Obviously, you're from China, so it's even more difficult for you because at least I was in Europe, so we do have things in common with the UK, although there's a lot that we don't have in common. And for now, I'm going to do a video for you, but for now, what I'm going to do to answer your question is to tell you that a lot of people are in your same situation. What I did in order to learn more about these expressions is to really try to get into a group of English speaking people. This will be quite hard because in Exeter, I have realized over time that the people from China tend to stick together and tend to like have their own little community, which is normal because it's comfort, you know, like you're all coming from freaking Asia and you're coming into a different country, different continent, and you're really worried about what you can and cannot do, you know, so it's understandable. However, I really hope that you will have the courage to just go up to some English speaking people and just, you know, just try and be their friend and try and spend at least one night out a week with them or one day a week with them and just generally immerse yourself in a group that's only English. Only by doing that, this is what I did for the first 2 months of my ex-uni experience when I was a fresher. I had a group of 20 English people who were always sticking together, always, and I managed to get myself in that group. And it was hard, you know, because they were talking like, oh, are you going to pull, Francesca, tonight? And I was like, what does pull mean? For me, pulling is this, but actually what they meant is attracting a guy. I'm going to discuss all of this in the video that I'm going to make specifically to you. You will manage, okay? You will manage. If you want to learn more about this, you will. I'm going to help you with this video. I'm going to do it for you, but I can tell you, just stick around English people and it will slowly but surely, you're going to get more confident with the English ways. I hope this helps for now. I'll definitely do a video for you that's more exhaustive. Why it's so beautiful, Francesca. I mean, I love you, Francesca. That's super cute. Thank you so much for this love. This person has been commenting only beautiful things on my YouTube channel. I'm really happy to have you in the community as part of my family. From analysis, do a part 2 of Exeter Nightlife video as you miss a lot of places. Very true, I have. And I will. And it's coming up. I love when you guys give me some suggestions because sometimes, you know, you run out of ideas and having people always giving you ideas is so refreshing. So thank you so much. Lily, love your videos starting in September at Exeter and your videos are helping me a lot. Thank you so much. This is such a beautiful comment. This was so helpful as legit always. Thank you, Bear Bears. I love her. I really like La Fraude because of the rooms and everything, but I'm still worried about the whole social party aspect because I'm introverted and I feel like, although obviously I want to have fun, I really need my alone time. Do not worry. You're going to arrive in a place that is where you're sharing a kitchen and you have your own room with your own bathroom. You can decide whenever you want to go in your room, close that door, and just be in peace with yourself and just do whatever routines you need to do to just calm down and just stay with you. I understand that that's a requirement. I had the same one. And just don't worry, you decide when you want to be social. You can be social by going in the kitchen whenever you want. You can be social by engaging with other people and going out with them whenever you want, going to societies whenever you want. But when you decide you want to have your own time, just go to your room, and do whatever you need to do to make yourself feel better. Now, if by any chance you end up in a flat that is extremely noisy, sometimes it can happen, but you know, usually you wouldn't be, because if you X is really good at putting people with the same interests in the same accommodation, and if you said that you need your alone time and you need some quiet, then you will not have this problem. Hopefully you've done that. You've said that you needed your quiet, so you won't have this problem. But by any chance, if by any chance you are in a flat that's quite noisy, then you can always change accommodation. Okay, some people have. It is possible. It's not my recommendation. I would really try to stick to it. But if it's really bad, you could always change, and it can be a nice plan Z for you. So hopefully this helps you. I had beautiful comments like, awesome, the video was perfect, underrated YouTuber, keep it up. Thank you. Another question from Bea. I so wish I was already going to uni. I'm so over high school, haha. But this is gonna be useful next year. Thank you. Bea, I understand. Je te comprends 100%. You will be done, but do not wish these years to go by. Like, if there's one thing I wish I could have just taken more and better, the high school moments. I had a really crap high school experience. Like, it was not enjoyable, but I really wish I could just be there even one more day just to like remember how it was. So do take pictures or videos or memories, because if there's one thing that I've realized, that time moves fast and sometimes you get nostalgic, and it's always good to go back to these videos and pictures. So definitely please just take pictures of little things that don't make sense, even like taking a picture of your school, doing a one day in a life vlog of your school or something. Like, try and do that, because it's something that for me is so important to do, and I just wish I did it more. But don't worry, time will fly. You will be in Exeter tomorrow. Like, everything's gonna come. Gurtakan sign. I hope I said it right. I'm joining Exeter in September, so what should be basic things I would need? Ooh, I made a list just for you, so I'm gonna put the link below your video, and you should totally get it, because it took me a while to do this list. It's super exhaustive. What I will need to know if you're self-catered or catered, but I will put the links for both anyway in your comment, and then you can like check it out. And guys, if you're interested in the same thing, just go in the links down below, and I will, if they're not there, be patient, they will be there soon. And I'm very excited to see what you guys think about it. Okay, so another question I have is from Aya. So she's asking, do you recommend working whilst being a fresher? So, okay, from this I'm quite torn, because I don't think I'm the best person to ask this, since I did not work when I was in university. However, from my point of view, and for what I've seen from people who have worked, I would say that if you can not work, then I think it would be important as a fresher to just take that year to understand what study life in uni is, understand how the social, it's an important part of your social life to just, take in the vibes, learning about other people, being able to say yes to parties, being able to say yes to coffees, and just basically spend that year building some good friendship groups and some good, solid connection. It doesn't even have to be friendship group. It just can be just at least one or two people here and there in different halls. And I think that you can do that only by really spending some time with them. And if already studying will take a lot of time, and especially if you're not used to uni studying, then it could be quite daunting. But if you add on top of that a part-time job, sometimes that can be too much, and some people actually crack under the pressure, especially if you have extra hobbies you want to take into or societies you want to join. I feel that freshers should be a year where you should focus on getting your friendships solid, learning about societies and which ones are the ones made for you. Test a bit of everything, getting to understand more what kind of hobbies you want to spend more time in and what are the ones that you want to dive deep into. And then most importantly, learning how to cope with workload in university. So my first answer to that is no, do not take a part-time job. Obviously, if you need one because you need the money and you can't otherwise, then you don't have a choice. But if you do have a choice like I did, then I would stay away from a part-time job, at least in your first year. Then you can still have it in the second and third year, but definitely stay away from it in your first year. In my last Q&A video, I did not recommend Duryard as an accommodation to stay. And Emily said, why don't you recommend it? Because that was one of her accommodation of choice. And I just wanted to read my answer for those who didn't see it. Maybe it can help. Hi, it's just extremely far away and it's worse than Berks when it comes to getting somewhere. I remember spending some time there and for me it was a bit of a nightmare location-wise. Please bear in mind that the question they asked was what you personally recommend. So this is completely my opinion. A friend of mine who is current second year was in Duryard and absolutely loved it. He said his people were exactly his kind of vibe and he's a super kind person. So for him, it worked. For me, I was looking more for movement, and because of it being so far, sometimes freshers get discouraged to get involved 100% in the uni experience. But that was me 5 years ago, log. Things change, people change, location though, that's my point of view. That was my answer to that. And Emily responded to that, oh yeah, okay, I really don't mind the location. So for her, location is not a prerequisite. So you see, like for Emily, who doesn't really care that much about location, for her it's not a big deal because maybe she likes walking. A lot of people do. I hate it. I hate it. For me, location is important, and that's why I said no for Duryard. So I hope that clears some things up for the last Q&A. This makes me laugh. When I see my name, honestly, my name has been written in so many different ways in the past years, but this one I'd never saw. Thank you, Ahmed. Okay, so Christina had asked me a question. I promised I would answer her. I was wondering, how is the workload for business and management student? I've heard that Exeter's got this reputation for being the home of Oxbridge rejects. 100% true. This kind of makes me worry if the academic is so strong compared to mine. Kindly tell me about your experience. Christina, that's such a good question. So what I want to say about that is, yes, there's a lot of Oxbridge rejects, aka me. It's a very big pain point, so maybe do not mention it once you're in Exeter, but we can mention it on this channel. Yes, there's a lot of Oxbridge rejects, but I can tell you that at least for business and management, which was your question, right? Yes. For business and management student, you will not find the workload that hard. In my opinion, okay, maybe it's because I'm an Oxbridge reject, and maybe it's because I come from the French system where I had 13 subjects to study. But for me, the business and management course was a bit of a joke. The first year, I didn't do anything. And I'm not someone who says that I don't do anything if I didn't. I didn't do anything. I didn't go to lectures, didn't go to seminars, didn't go to tutorials. And I even studied an exam at 6 a.m. until 2 p.m. when the exam was, okay? And I didn't fail any exam, and I passed my year with 42%. The reason why I passed my year, I think, is because in freshers, since it doesn't count, the professors tend to mark kinder. So in your first year, you will be marked much kinder than in your second year. So please bear that in mind. And so that was a very interesting thing to see. And I definitely didn't have good marks at all, okay? So I didn't have good marks at all, but I didn't study at all. So the fact that for someone who didn't do anything, I still passed is a bit of, I was actually like quite surprised. Then the second thing I want to say is that in my second year, I did study a bit. I did go to like a total of 12 lectures in total and seminars, and I did get a low 2.2. That was because, again, I would do everything last minute. So by being super last minute and by not doing the work, you can have a 2.2 easily. Now, obviously, you don't want a 2.2. You want minimum a 2.1. and obviously we're going to aim for the first. Whatever you do, always aim for the first, especially in business and management. Please look at the first question of this Q&A because I really go into detail on this, but it is extremely doable to have a first in business and management. Business and management is not law. In law, it's very hard to have a first. Usually people have a 2-1 and that is incredible. So in law, the 2-1 is basically our first. So it is very doable to get a first. It's not because we're Oxbridge rejects that the university is as tough as Oxford or a bit less tough. It's actually quite chill, especially in business and management. Now, that was for me in the past 4 years. I don't know if they've changed the level of difficulty in the last 2 years because, you know, things have changed. So I will make sure to do interviews of other business and management students. I think they're going to come up soon. If they don't, just you will see for yourself. It should be fine. So I am very, very positive when I say you will be fine. Like, I wouldn't say you will be fine if I didn't think of it. Just do the work regularly, at least 2 hours of studying above the going to the lectures, seminars and tutorials. If you do that, you should be more than fine. So I have this other question. I'm coming out of a gap year and have no idea whether I actually want to go to university or not still. And I'm running out of time to decide. Are you an exam or an extended essay kind of person? I'm apprehensive about having to go back to doing exams. So I'm just wondering, since you've been there and done it, realistically, how difficult are they? You mentioned that you never taught business beforehand. Are you naturally good at taking exams? Thanks. Okay, so guys, I just wanted to answer this. I already answered him via text, but I wanted to answer him, Mishka, again. First of all, I'm not academic, okay? I'm not academic, I'm not a genius, I'm not anyone, I'm not special, which is why I think this channel is important because it's for the average student. And I don't think I'm average as a person. I just feel that when it comes to academics, I'm not academical. So, Mish, you should look at all the questions business related of this Q&A because I already said a few things there. But again, I'm just going to answer your question. You will be fine. Business and management is the best course for someone who is not ready to go back into exam because the majority of the business and management course is made up out of group work and group presentation, and it's very much less on the essays. Like, there's not a lot of essays unless you go for modules that demand essays. But I always state I'm not an essay person. I hate essays. I hate them. So every time that I had to choose my modules, I would look at the requirements of what they would ask for, and if I saw essay, I would stay away from that and I would pick things that had group work in or presentations in or an exam. So exams in business and management are really not that hard. They have open book exams where you can take whatever you want, so you can come with your own books. They have exams where they basically tell you the questions of what is going to happen in the exam, and you just have to prepare and literally just memorize by heart your preparation, then put it on paper. So it's more memory in exams. In exams, it's more memory than talent. However, I'm going to tell you, in exams, the problem is time. They do it on purpose to not give you a lot of time, so to assess that you really know it. Because if you really know it, you can write super quickly. But if you didn't know the concept very well, then you will take longer. So that's why time is super important, and you just need to understand the concept and memorize by heart a few references and a few dates. I will get, you know what, I think I'll do a video about this soon. If I do it, I'll put it in the link down below. Guys, I know I've said a lot of the times that I will put links down in the description. This will take a bit of time before I get to that point, okay? So yeah, if you are coming from a gap year, I definitely recommend you going to business and management. I think is a really good decision. You will have plenty of time to get to know you and get to know what you want to do in your life. Business and management is a course that gives you a lot of time to reflect on your future. So that's why I'm where I am right now, super happy in Adidas doing marketing. I'm going to do my own thing in a few months. It's going to be incredible, and that's because I chose a course such as business and management, which was so helpful when it came to giving me time to do what I needed to do. Alright, so Eleanor McBride had a question for me. Thanks, I came to an open day and loved Exeter. I was wondering if you knew much about the accommodation for Lopez Dining Hall. I like the look of Penny C, but you haven't mentioned it here. So was wondering if you knew more on what's it like to be there, or am I better off spending the same amount of money for Holland Hall? Sorry, it's a long question. Fine with the long questions. The longer the better. The more questions the better. So please ask away. So Lopez Dining Hall, you know what? Okay, so it's Lopez and Penny C share the same kitchen. So you will be eating with people from Lopez. So it's the same one. I've never been inside, but it's just a standard catered canteen, like nothing special. You have an incredible view in Holland Hall, which is amazing. So definitely better to go to Holland Hall if you like the view. However, I would say that when it comes to people, Holland Hall is definitely a bit more cliquey than Penny C. Holland Hall and Penny C are cousins in culture when it comes to the people there. I would say that Penny C has a lot of people who are from a good background. I say good background, I mean a background who is, you know, a bit more like comfortable than others, meaning that you can find all sorts of people. However, I have a really good friend, AJ, if you're watching this, I love you, who was in Penny C and he was an absolute legend. So I know that you will find some people. I think that if I had to choose between the people from Holland Hall and the people from Penny C, I would go for Penny C. But if I had to choose between the view of Holland Hall and the view of Penny C, I would go for Holland Hall. So yeah, it depends what you're looking for. I like Penny C. I never considered it because it was on the other side of Berks Grange, so I never really had friends from there. But the people I met from there were a really good community, very tight community, and they had lots of fun. So I hope this answers your question. Moneybug is asking, are there any tips for young people who come to Exeter to meet other young people in Exeter? I am moving to Exeter in fall to volunteer. Could you give me any tips where I could meet people either from the uni or other young people? I don't know if I already answered. I feel that I already answered that question. But yes, there is. You just have to basically go on night out during the week because students go out during the week. Wednesday Timepiece. A timepiece is a club that you don't have to pay to get into unless you want to go upstairs to listen to the music. There's a whole bar area which is free, a whole place outside which is free. So if you go there on Wednesday, you will find loads of people to talk to. However, they'll probably be drunk because it's Wednesday Timepiece. Basically, go to clubs on the weekdays and you'll find plenty of young people. Easy. And then once you meet them, make sure you add them on Facebook, and then once everyone is sobered up, just ask them when do the socials happen and try to get someone to invite you to socials of different societies. So for instance, if you like surfing and there's a surf person you met, and even if you don't surf, it's fine, just talk to them, say, hey, when is the next surf social? Could I text you? Can I come with you? Blah, blah, blah. And they should be very open to invite you to the next social, although you're not part of the uni. It's all about who you know, but it all starts at the clubs, because since you're not an Exeter student, then that's how you could meet people who are students. So definitely do that. And then the final question of the day is from Bea. Did you do the back? Because I'm wondering if you did, what your revision techniques and methods were. I did do the Baccalaureate Série S, so I will actually make a few tips on that because it is definitely needed. If I do the video, I'll link it down below your comment and again in the description down below. But guys, do not expect all the videos to just pop up in the next week. It will take some time, especially with me. But when they will be up, they will be in the description. And please, if you're interested in these videos, subscribe to my channel, because when they will appear, you will be notified, and turn on the notification bell. And yeah, hopefully I will manage to do all the videos you guys asked. Is there a possibility to join a society or sport team if you do not study at the uni? Unfortunately not. You have to be part of the university because it's a university organization. However, you can participate to the socials. So just as I told you, try and participate to the socials, try and network within the sports club. So Wednesday Timepiece is the sports nights clubs. So it's when all the people went on socials together. So although you can't participate, network with them, and maybe someone will low-key make you go to the sports societies even though you're not a uni member if you pay and everything. So okay, and my absolute last question, going into my second year and commute 2 hours Monday to... I'm going into my second year and I commute 2 hours Monday to Thursday. I worked part-time and wanted to join society. It wasn't possible until I quit my work. But I'm definitely going to put in an effort in my second year. I'm still working, but I will quit before I start my second year and become a day trader and go to university. Any tips on what I could do in my second year other than join a society or two? I literally have like 3 mates. I talked to a lot in my first year, but feel like I could have tried more. Any tips how to maximum my second year experience? Okay, Ridwan, hi. I already answered you, so I'm just gonna read my answer for people who didn't see it. First of all, respect for working. It is so hard to balance the uni life and work, and I really admire a lot of people like you. Secondly, I think I admire you even more for the fact that you're willing to analyze your behavior and realize that maybe more can be done. It takes a lot of courage, and you will grow with this mentality. If societies is not an answer for you, maybe try and organize study groups with people in your course to go over complicated seminars. Like this, you win as you need to prepare the material to help others, automatically helping you achieving better marks at uni, and you get to be around new people every time as the word spreads around this new activity. If this is too academical, try and join talks and events organized by your local career zone. In Exeter, we have a career zone with loads of employers and employability courses which attract like-minded people. Like that, you get to socialize whilst building skills for your CV. However, there must be a society that you could join that is in your interest. You mentioned being a day trader. Surely you're not the only one in your uni. Try and find fellow day traders, and then you get to do that while building solid friendships or over common passion. Although, ask yourself what you enjoy doing, and by doing activities that include that, you'll find potential people to connect with. A last thing I'd say is just to build connections with people you meet randomly. Maybe one day they will invite you at pre's or a house party, and through that you can meet more people, so one random person brings you 20 more. Hope that this will give you ideas. Guys, that was the end of my Q&A question. Please keep asking questions. I am here for you. I definitely don't want to miss out on any of your worries. And before we leave, if you're about to go to Exeter University or you have an offer, definitely join my group because I have live Q&A sessions in that group. Only for people who go to Exeter for now. And then I will have a student group with other people in it, but that will be developed over the next month. Comment your questions. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me today. Bye.
I'm trying to put you in the worst mood. P1 cleaner than your church shoes.